Grab a cup of joe, buckle up, and let's embark on a journey of self-discovery, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Let's get rolling.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Rhythm of the Road podcast. If you've been here for a while, thank you so much for being here and hanging out and coming on this journey down this road wherever we're headed, because it seems to be taking a nice windy path through a mountainous hill, through caverns, around S-curves, along the edge, and then ending up where my favorite place would be is somewhere near the ocean, sailing across the sea, doing all those fun things, probably with some sunshine. So thank you for being here. If you're new to the podcast, thank you for checking it out. Please make sure you go back and check out some of the new episodes that are just released. Last week, we had an episode with Steve, the Safari dude. So make sure to check him out. He's got an incredible story. And Nell, our first guest who was on here, she was also amazing. So make sure you go back in a few weeks and just check those out, because I'm sure there's a nugget in there for you somewhere. And more importantly, there's probably something in there that you can share with somebody else. And that's really what this is all about, is sharing out this message, giving people an opportunity to hear it, and giving people an opportunity to grow in whatever their journey is so they can make it farther down their road, wherever they're headed, which fits perfectly with today's topic and idea and theme, or I guess we could call it theme, or maybe it's the soundtrack of what this episode is. And that's this idea of it's a new month. I started a new week. I actually personally started a new routine this week. And I think what is important about all those things is you can start those things at any time. We're so far away from the cliche January, start new goals, have a New Year's resolution and start the fitness and start the nutrition. And I'm going to do better this year. And why can't your better this year start today? Or if you need a minute to think about it, why can't it just start tomorrow? And it made me think about the fact that I'm starting a brand new routine this week. And of course, it's uncomfortable because it's a new routine. It takes a minute to readjust and realign and make sure that not only is your schedule feeling good, but also it affects the people that are around you. So how does that affect your people in your home? Whether you have a roommate or you have family or you have kids, or how does it affect your coworkers, and how does it affect your workflow at work or in your business? It matters. And so you have to think about all those things. And I don't tell you that you have to think about all those layers to stop you from making the change, because I know many of you just let your hamster gerbil wheels just get a rolling, and all that did was make you stop and not want to make any changes. Changes don't have to be big. They can be small. And you can restart them every day. You can be like, yeah, that didn't work yesterday. Let's start new today. And not that you want to get in this forever changing model of changing everything you're doing every day. But for me, I knew that's something that was lacking in my schedule because of some changes that have gone on in my business and things that I have going on, that I lost my physical fitness piece of what I was doing earlier this year. And I'm like, I understand how important it is. And I have lots of people in my circle that tell me how important it is, and some fitness coaches out there that will definitely tell me how important it is. And I know it is, but it's just something that I could take a pause button on until I could get some other things figured out. And then where do I insert that back in? Because for me, that's something that's really important. I need the physical piece of it because it just helps. I know my body and my person enough to know that, like, I need those things throughout the week. And then how much is that? For me, it's not necessarily have to be 5 days a week. It can be 3 to 4 days a week. And it doesn't have to be super high intensity and crazy workout where I'm spending 90 minutes. It just needs to be something. And so that I started this week, and I can tell you just a couple days in, it already feels better, which I knew would happen. And instead of kicking myself or getting mad at myself for not doing it, I was just like, it will fit in when. And I guess that is really the part that hits home for me, is the you can start anytime, because we know the things that we need to do to make us more efficient, have better motivation and energy throughout the day. and to kind of create those boundaries around our schedule and time block things so that we can work at our maximum efficiency, not our maximum workload, right? So often we hear this hustle culture idea that you just have to be constantly on the go, running your tail off to the grind all the time, 14, 15, 16 hours a day. That's fine. If that's what you want to do and that's the life you want to live and that's all you want to do, then that's great. Do that. But I don't. I want to have time for my family. I have kids that are now have officially turned into adulthood. And so I want to create time and space for them because they're doing some very cool things that I want to support. My wife and I just celebrated 24 years of marriage. So what does that look like now that we have two new adult children? And what does that look like going forward? So we're starting a new kind of life again, which is kind of interesting to even think about. So in that, I've chosen like, okay, I need to get this exercise piece back in my routine so that I get back into that regular feeling. I can be more supportive to those that are around me. I can have more time and energy actually for the things that I'm doing. And it just makes them more enjoyable. A, I'm not so tired. B, like because I know that I'm doing those things for myself, I have more time and space and capacity for others, which for me is about pouring into others, whether it's a coaching client or doing consulting or onboarding new clients or working with organizations. I have more capacity for them and those that are part of it because I refuel myself and I give myself that opportunity. So what's one thing that you could put new or you could adjust, right? Don't go spend a whole bunch of time and hours and waste a week or two or three or four trying to figure out what should I do. There's this amazing tool out there. It's called Google. You can search anything, but what I really want you to do is just go look in a mirror and say, what do I need? What can I do better in my week? What's one small, tiny change that I can make starting next week, right? Don't put I have to do it tomorrow on there. Put it on the next week. Give yourself the space to discover and figure out what that actual need is so that when you put it into action, it's going to work. Don't be the New Year's Eve, Christmas, you go through Thanksgiving, you go through Christmas, you're eating, you're doing all these things, and then you're like, in January, I'm going to get fit. Well, that's just a lie that you're telling yourself. We all know, and the research shows that you have to put those habits into place for 45, 60, 90 days before you're going to actually see the results of that work that you have to start in January, which you're not going to see till mid-February, which maybe if you hit Valentine's Day, you have a little slip and you got to start over again, or you get to March and you're like, I'm starting to see some results, but then my life kind of got busy, so then I fall off. And you got to kind of start all over. And now you can see why gyms make the most money in January and then it slowly dies off as it goes into the spring. So don't be that person. Or if you are, just know it's okay. Just restart next week, or just restart tomorrow, or just restart this afternoon or tomorrow morning. It doesn't matter when you do it because you can do it anytime. Just pick those things, be intentional, know why you're doing it, and also share with others around you. When I said that I'm going to put exercise and physical fitness back into my routine, I informed those around me so that they were aware, so that I feel like, well, Jeremy's gone, he's out again, we don't know where he's at, or they're going to check their Life 360 app and see where I am. I'm either running down a trail or I'm moving real slow around a neighborhood or something like that. If I'm doing an outside sort of run or walk or whatever that might look like, they know. And they're like, oh, cool. He's out doing that thing he said he was going to do, which I think just puts the nail hits it right on the head, because it shows that you're going to do the work. You're going to show up for you. And if you can show up for you, that means you're willing and able to show up for others. So think about that. What are you going to do? Do me a favor. Throw a comment down below. Send me a message. Send me an email. Drop me a DM. Do something like that. What are you going to do? And I'll see what I can do about holding you accountable, or at least checking in once in a while to see what are the things that you are doing for you to start your new week, of your new month, of your new routine, of things that you can do and start any time. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. If you like this episode or you think somebody else in your life would benefit from hearing this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you ding that little bell so that you get these episodes every time from our YouTube channel. If you're listening on audio, thank you so much. If you could do me a favor and go ahead and leave a 5-star review, because audio came a little late into the game because of an intentional choice to do video only. And I would love for more listeners to find it on Apple and Spotify and iHeartRadio and all those spaces. So please leave a 5-star review and share this with somebody else. Until next time, I'll see you down the road.
Thanks for cruising with me on this episode of Rhythm of the Road. Remember, the journey itself is the destination. Until next time, keep the rhythm flowing, and we'll see you down the road.